you have the best leg spinner that there is in Kuldeep Yadav, and you have KL Rahul. Try finding it in any other teams.
Teams struggling at death bowling, but you will not find that an issue with the Indian team.
For a long period of time, we've had very good starts. We've had teams 5 and 6 down, and then we've allowed them to get to a par score. You'll have to find a way that, okay, you don't have it, you don't have it. This is the best top 5 that is there in the country. Let's just back it.
For the preview of India right now, and it's a perfect comment to take me into that India segment because Ankar Biswas going to say Australia have Maxwell, South Africa have Markram, Sri Lanka have Asalanka DDS, Pakistan have Aga Iftikhar South, England have Root Livingston, New Zealand have Phillips Dal. Who do we have? Hamara paas
Right arm
kya
quick
hai?
bowler.
Kya hai
Right
hamare
arm
paas?
quick.
The Lord.
Number three who bowls right arm quick bowler.
Oh,
Oh my word!
You have the best leg spinner that there is in Kuldeep Yadav, and you have KL Rahul. Try finding it in any other teams.
Of course, and we have an emperor, a hitman if needed. We have some fire in terms of Shreyas. But look, gimmicks apart, jokes apart, we're going to be previewing India right now. So give us a quick like on this particular video if you guys are watching and subscribe to the cricket.com channel. Fantastic things coming your way. And as usual, we'll start off with the news surrounding the Indian camp at this moment in time. Before we get into the SWOT, the predicted 11, the strengths and the weaknesses, and of course, not to forget the fixtures that India have at their disposal. They're going to be playing next Sunday, of course, so which is going to be absolutely rocking against Australia.
Yeah, and it's just apt that the guy that we've given this team to is just whatever that is needed to do. So yes, let's go ahead from here.
Exactly. Akshay will be breaking it down, but of course, we start with the squad, boys. And I just want to talk about these are the 15 who are going to be potentially, dare I say, in textbooks, history books, cricketing folklore. I don't want to get carried away, but look at this particular squad that India have dished out. They, of course, ranked the number 1 team. It was in 2015 when Australia were ranked the number 1 team. They hosted the World Cup. 2019, England ranked the number 1 team, hosted the World Cup. And 2023, India ranking the number 1 team and hosting the World Cup. So, boys, is this going to be something to, of course, scare the other teams in the world? Look at the names there. And Gurkirat, you can start here first. Keep it brief because there's so much chat about India. What do you like about the squad the most? The most.
Variety in bowling attack and variety in batting. I know there is no left-handed, no left-arm pacer or a left-handed batter in the first 11, but you will struggle to find the quality that is there in the Indian first 11. Gill and Rohit complement each other. There is Virat. You have then 4 and 5 with Shreyas and KL. Hardik at 6. I mean, the only point of worry with the Indian 11 is that batting at 6 and 7 because Hardik's not scored enough runs and Jadeja's not scoring anything in recent times. But apart from that, we've discussed so much about teams struggling at death bowling, but you will not find that an issue with the Indian team given Bumrah is there and Siraj has also become a good death bowler. His Yorker percentage has gone up. So and there is an able backup in Mohammad Shami too. So barring India not having a left-hander in the first 11 as a batter or as a bowler, you to find weaknesses or in terms of combination you will be clutching at straws. So a lot of bases covered in the first 11 and the squad.
Okay, Nikhil, what about India winning it? What do they have to do things right? Do they just emulate that 2011 World Cup? And I say that because I have merchandise from that 2011 World Cup. If you guys know, you know, MS Dhoni, Zaheer Khan, Yuvraj, all of that, just showing off that. And remember the Nike bat, the good old Nike bat. So can we, of course, think about it as a positive thing going into the World Cup? We have the guys. There's Virat, there's Rohit, Bumrah is fit right now. India start favourites and India can win the competition, surely.
Yeah, they can very well. And again, it's how apt that the guys that you have, and you take out that subsequent roles in this one. Dhoni, KL Rahul, very key guy. You take Zaid Khan, you have Bumrah at the other end, very key guy for you to do that. So I think in terms of personnel, as Paji said, you're ticking almost most boxes here. I'll just say there are two things that I think are the only thing that will stop this team from going through. One is accelerating from your 6 and 7. That those two guys at that spot, if it comes down to them having a good day multiple times, that is where there is one issue. And while Paji is sure of Endo's wickets, I'm not too much, because India haven't had a lot of good time bowling at the end. And for a long period of time, we've had very good starts. We've had teams 5 and 6 down, and then we've allowed them to get to a par score. So the only thing that I'm looking at in terms of closing it out is better usage of people and getting conditions right, so that you are closing the game out far early. Do not let it drift at any point of time. As long as this team is looking for wickets at every point of time, I think they'll do just fine. But if they think that they'll do it later, I think it could be the troublesome. And again, as Paji said, this is clutching to straws only. So please take that with a pinch of salt.
Take it with a bucket of salt, because it's India and it's Indian cricket that we're talking about. And Abbas Kunde rightly going on to say his team. Remember, let us know what you guys think. A, will India win the World Cup? That's the inevitable $1 million question. And B, who will be in that playing 11 against Australia next Sunday? Abbas saying Rohit Gill, Virat, Iyer, Rahul, Hardik, Jadeja, Shardul / Ashwin in spin conditions. Siraj, Bumrah, Kuldeep. No Shami, we need batting. No left-hand batter crying. So no Ishan. Shardul's wicket, not so lucky. I mean, honestly, this is, of course, a chat for you guys to have right now in the comments, and tell us what you feel. Vedang, Araikar, if you're new, of course, please subscribe. He goes on to say, boys, one of the worst catching percentage in recent times. India has thoughts. Perfect plug-in for the Monday Night Live show tomorrow, because we have the man who was the Team India fielding coach of the last World Cup, the 2019 World Cup, which is Sridhar. He's going to be joining us tomorrow in the first 10 minutes of the show. So stick in, and we'll, of course, ask some of your questions to him. Maybe one of this, Vedang, if you can tune in tomorrow. But look, lots have been made about India's fixtures as well, saying, yeah, New Zealand, we're playing Dharamshala, we're playing, Australia and Chennai, and Zampa and Maxwell will be all over like a rash. I want to talk about the fixtures right now. And Akshay, before your SWOT, how confident are you about India's fixtures, mate? Because Australia, like I said, in Chennai, and then Afghanistan, I'm surely thinking Rashid's not going to have like some dream fifer.
Australia and Chennai, I don't think anyone's as upset with it as you are. I don't think anyone's as scared of Zampa and Maxwell as you are. Probably when Ashwin Agar was still there, yeah, maybe that Australia game in Chennai was going to be a bit tricky. But now, given Agar's absence, I feel it is India's game to lose. Afghanistan and Delhi, sure, yeah. I mean, if Rashid or Mujib, sort of have one of those days where they run through the lineup and get a nice 5 foot or a 6 foot, it could be difficult. But more or less, India would be happy with these fixtures. They're playing England in Lucknow. They're playing Pakistan in Ahmedabad, which would be a fantastic game to watch, because Pakistan again have a good pace attack. Ahmedabad surface would aid them as well, so that'll be very interesting to watch. But barring the New Zealand game in Dharamshala, there's no fixture that India would look at and sort of be a bit worried. How do we go about this? So that
South
game,
Africa, Kolkata?
Nah, man. India has a more than competent bowling attack, a more than competent batting lineup to be able to take care of it. And South Africa's bowling itself has been very weak. We spoke about this on Friday as well, where, apart from Rabada, and if he himself doesn't come good, the likes of, you can't really expect too much from the rest of them. Gerald Curtsey, again, all of these are new names. They've not even played 20 ODIs of, like, how do you expect them to sort of come good in a World Cup all of a sudden? So yeah, let's cut them some slack there. And yeah, wouldn't really be too worried about it. Kohli's birthday after all, so if anything, I'm expecting the Kohli special that day.
I can't wait for that game, and I can't wait for your SWOT analysis as well in a bit. But lots of people in the chat saying the same thing, which is, of course, not just the template and how they play, but even the combination that they're going with. Too many right-handers in the first 11. Ankar Bishwas going on to say no left hand in the top 6. Jadu Zodia batting form, long tail, batters who can't bowl, a few weaknesses. And every Indian, whether you like it or not, guys, have, of course, compared the 2011 World Cup team to the 2023 World Cup team. And that 2011 World Cup team, Gurkirat, was brilliant because they had batters who could bowl in the top order. They had that perfect balance between left-handers and right-handers, aka Yuvraj, Raina, so on and so forth. So, is that too good to be true and dreaming that way, or do you think these guys can still pull it off?
I'm really not sure how much of this could be a criticism of the team that batters don't bowl. See, it's been 12 years since the 2011 World Cup. ODI cricket as a whole has undergone sea change. You have two new balls right now. That makes a huge difference in terms of how easier it is for finger spinners to operate in the middle overs. I mean, if you just look at this as an instance, a spinner bowling the 13th over in a T20 game is bowling with a older ball than someone who comes into bowl in the 21st over in an ODI game. That's a huge factor. And in
Yeah.
2011 World Cup, you had five fielders outside the circle. Now, from overs 11 to 40, you have only four, and the power play remains the way it is. So, I'm really not sure how much of it is that much of an issue. If you have six bowlers who can do the job day in and day out, you really don't know. I mean, again, I feel saying that your top five doesn't bowl is clutching at straws. If you have six,
Just to add to it, we already have people who can do a bit of both, but we don't want them and we want specialists. So even if we had people who could bowl and if you played them, the complaint would be कि यार now also Arey but Shami is a better bowler than Shardul. Arey but then we are getting some batting from Shardul. Arey but what if how much so this will never stop. You'll have to find a way that okay, you don't have it. This is the best top five that is there in the country. Let's just back it.
Yeah, and you observe the fixtures closely, and it's something that Satwik gets bang on because he said, somewhat, it just honestly shapes up to be the perfect sort of look and feel for India, at least on paper. Because we go back to that graphic, you have Australia, then you get a breather against Afghanistan before Pakistan, then you have Bangladesh, then you get a breather before New Zealand, and then of course England, Sri Lanka, South Africa, Netherlands in not quick succession because they have been spaced out, but of course, India will be playing mostly on some Thursdays and Saturdays and some Sundays as well, and will be there to give you all the stuff that you guys need. Right, Akshay, time to, of course, move on to your SWOT analysis. By the way, all you guys watching this, please like this video because I noticed lots of people have liked this video, but not that much as the people watching it. So if you guys are loving our content, please drop a comment below and we'll of course pin the best one at the end of the show. And I know the show will get chaotic once we have Akshay's predicted 11 out, because I'm sure we'll have some sort of argy-bargy discrepancies and be like, how are you playing him? Mazak chal raha hai, and all of that. But first, the SWOT analysis, sir. Talk to me, Akshay, and what are India's, I mean, we can see it, just go ahead.
Yeah, in terms of strengths, a very, very, very settled unit, and probably the first time in a very long time that, they're entering the World Cup with pretty much all of their 11 sorted. The number 7 position, yeah, like we discussed, is still in contention in terms of us not having decent enough options, but we still know who's going to start there. And having that clarity itself is sort of heartening to watch. So strengths may, if we look at our batting in the power play or just overall across the innings, we've been the second best after England, who've been the team to beat, both in terms of batting and their bowling. So it's good to see that we are sort of closing in on them. In the World Cup, we play them in Lucknow, so the surfaces there wouldn't be that batting friendly. So that would also be an interesting matchup. Best batting average amongst all teams, high across pace and spin. This is thanks to the fact, just like how Nikhil Bhai mentioned, we don't have too many multi-dimensional players. So we have specialists, we have players for those specific roles. There's Kohli at 3, there's Iyer at 4, there's Rahul at 5. It's a very settled unit. All of them have earned their spot there. So that's good to see. And you can see that numbers also reflect just that, how all of them have been really good. They've been the best wicket-taking side, especially in the new ball. Siraj has been good in the last 20 odd months. Bumrah also coming back and bodes well for them. They might also look to use Hardik Pandya with the new ball, who's not been too bad at all. That could help them use Bumrah and even Siraj, for that matter, better in the middle and the end overs where they've sort of struggled. If we go into the weaknesses, a very long tail. Practically playing 3 number 11s from number 9 onwards. That could sort of be a bit of a bother for them. Some might argue that Kuldeep Yadav is better than a number 11, but yeah, we all have our opinions. Top 6, all of them are right-handers, so that makes it quite unidimensional. A lot of our viewers have also pointed that out. Ishan Kishan could probably have helped us solve that, but having a settled unit, having players who know their roles is a lot more important than just trying to, force fit left-handedness into your lineup. So it's fine, I guess. Batting run rate at position number 6 from position number 6 to number 8 is lower than Pakistan and all these Sena nations. So that's going to be a bit difficult to process, to digest, because India will be overly reliant on their top 6 to get runs. But I don't think that's too bad a problem to have. because at the end of the day, you expect your top six to anyway get runs. The fact that their lower order hasn't gotten enough runs could bite them only when their top six fails, which happens far and few, far and few in between, and they'll hope that remains to be the case even in the World Cup. In terms of opportunities, they of course they are playing at home, so that's definitely going to be a huge factor. Having all the support, having all the fans rooting for them as their 12th man, that'll always be great. They also have proper backups for most options, for most of their contentious options, or options, so to say. So be it Jadeja spot, they've got an Ashwin for backup. Might not be like for like, but still good enough. Offers spin value, offers value with the bat, so that's there. Shardul Thakur offers that additional batting cushion for them lower down the order. Siraj ke liye, there's Mohammad Shami coming in. So bowling may they have backups. Batting ke liye, if you look at what they've done, because they have such a settled unit, all they've done is go for a keeper backup in case of injury concerns. He'll also double up as a floater. He's open for India. He's batted in the middle order. So Ishan Kishan would be their sort of backup option. Barring that, they've also got Sky, who did show that, if given proper clarity and if given a designated role, he can thrive. He knows how to play T20s. He's cracked that format, and he knows how to bring that into ODI cricket as well. So that's also good to see. Coming into the World Cup, all of their batters have been informed, and they also have the experience of playing these games, man. Like all these players have been playing IPL day in and day out. They know what it takes to win these big games. We have Rohit Sharma leading them, who's won his team 5 IPL titles, who's been a part of victorious T20 World Cups, victorious Champions trophies, and we've got Ashwin and Kohli from the victorious 2011 campaign. So definitely all that experience does count come these big games, come these high stakes encounters. Lastly, if we move on to threats, pressure of expectations. This is something really, it's one of those intangibles that you can't really talk much about, and it also goes on to show that their 11 as such does not really have any loopholes, and that's why we have to dig into intangibles to understand what could potentially threaten their road to the finals. Hardik's fitness, that could be another cause for concern. Although he did do well in the Asia Cup, I mean, well as in he was able to chip in with overs and also bat decently with no injury concerns. So they'll be hoping he'll be able to stay fit throughout. Jadeja's batting form, this is the only singular point of concern for the Indian unit. Bowling mein Jadeja has been good. He gives them overs regularly, no issues. Batting, he's really struggled to get going against pace. This is his sort of depleted game against spin is something all of us knew about, but we expected him to compensate for it by going after pace. But him not being able to do that as well is really going to sort of keep the entire top order in check. They'll have to be a bit more cautious. They probably could be a bit more cautious given how their lower order has been struggling. And lastly, like one of our viewers mentioned, if I'm not wrong, it was no, it was one of our new viewers. I thought it was Ankar, but no, it was
Vedang.
Vedang. Yeah, my bad. Catching form is going to be a cause for concern. They had a lot of misfields. They had a lot of errors in the field. Shardul Thakur, in particular, again, at the risk of name calling, didn't have the greatest of days in the field during the Australia ODI series. Hopefully, that was just an aberration, and that won't be something they'll be too worried about in the World Cup. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, well presented. I think if you look at that SWOT analysis, you guys can check out more fantastic features about certain things about Team India going into this particular World Cup and how they will fare. Now, we will use this opportunity not to, of course, just give us our predictions right now and lend us our thoughts on the MVP. Lots of people, of course, are already kind of letting rip in the comments below, like Santosh Sharpa saying top 3 MVP KL. Abbas Kunde, meanwhile, going on to say, only game I concern is versus England. We beat then confidence. And Satvik saying number 4 and 5 for India is not just a problem for India anymore. Raz likely to play most games, but one of Kishan Iriskai will be played to suit some specific game plan against opposition. Speaking of the 11, let's just get the graphics done and dusted with and have Akshay is playing 11 for India. Now, I don't know whether I should do a drum roll and help this guy survive the onslaught of daggers he's going to get from Nikhil, Gurkirat, me, and everyone in the comments. What has Akshay gone for in terms of his playing 11 for India? Let's go. So talk to me, Akshay. You got, of course...
Wait a minute.
Oh, 1 second. You don't have Kuldeep. Oh my God, he's already got it.
Calm down.
Leave
Calm
it.
down. Wait, I changed it. I had Kuldeep in my 11.
No. Don't now throw the producer under the bus. I knew you were going to do this. You had Kuldeep nowhere
Calm down,
close.
dude.
Let
That
me
was
let me open the WhatsApp group.
yeah.
Exactly. Open
Please
the
do,
WhatsApp group.
please do, please do.
Meanwhile,
No,
okay, fine.
in
Talk to me about the rest of your team.
see. I admit I did. This was the 11 I came ahead with. I came up with for the first time, and I was like, yeah, this has decent batting depth. Why were we worried about batting depth? Then Avnish rightly pointed out कि भाई कुलदीप कहाँ है? And I did admit कि हाँ
And
कुलदीप
also,
चाहिए.
you would have had Akshar in the squad if he was fit. I mean, in the playing 11. Ridiculous. Jadeja,
भाई
some
साहब.
respect,
Okay,
karo.
I have to help the poor guy here. Yeah, like his first 11, he admits that,
Yeah,
he said that there was something missing, and then in the updated 11, he did have Kuldeep. But
भाई
yeah, I
साहब.
mean,
सच्ची
but
में ये गजब.
come to think
I
of it,
feel
come to
no
think
no
of
wait.
it, come
Avnish
to
has done
think
this
of
on
it, it's a
purpose.
huge surprise. It's a huge surprise that you miss out someone like Kuldeep in the 11 in the first place. That
Goes
is
Exactly.
on
It
to
hilarious.
show
shows your
how
thinking.
no
It shows your
go,
thinking in terms of, okay, you're not even thinking for your main wicket taking spin option.
no
Kuldeep, but
go, goes on
dude.
to show how ardent an Indian cricket fan I am. नेदरलैंड्स
Oh
का
my God.
15 बताने को बोलो अभी बता देगा एक एक झटके में से.
Okay, all jokes apart though, why have you gone for this particular 11? Okay, fine, let's factor in Kuldeep.
I haven't.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
okay,
There
fine,
is,
Kuldeep for Ashwin, right? I take
of
it.
course. Yeah, yeah.
So you're
And
going to
pretty
play
much everyone
Thakur.
is.
Are
Yeah,
you going
yeah.
to play Thakur in Chennai?
Of course, they all pick themselves. We need that batting cushion. Like
So Ashwin doesn't
again,
walk in, right? Because you're not
for,
having the sentimental card here.
yeah, and again we're talking about the best 11 for the World Cup, not condition specific. So this is going to be the skeleton, and from here you can probably plus or minus based on conditions, based on what they feel, based on current form. But again, to begin with, like I mentioned while we spoke about Australia, this is going to be the first game in Chennai. So us expecting the pitch to turn to grip so soon, I don't think that's going to happen that much. So Thakur could potentially stay in the 11. Ashwin will be replaced by Kuldeep Yadav. This was essentially the 11 they had in the Asia Cup finals, barring Pandya and if I'm not wrong, Gill. Or yeah, so that's pretty much it. So Sharma, Gill, they pick themselves. Kohli, Iyer, Rahul in the middle order. They also pick themselves. Pandya, of course, with
But
with
Akshay, the questions have been absolutely asked in the comments. Akshay bhai, opposition will score 350 plus in every match. And then Cricket International say, if Akshay is the manager of the ICT, CT27 reload. And
Arey
then, of
bhai,
course,
so it's going to be a horses for courses situation for between Shardul and Ashwin. The idea was to talk. Of course, ये मैं मानता हूँ, ये तो मैं मानता हूँ, ठीक है. I'll wear it as a badge of honor if it helps. But yeah, अरे कुलदीप है भाई, अंकर भाई, बाबर भाई, सब प्रणव भाई हैं, कुलदीप है. I'm 100%
I
sure
think this was
Avnish is
deliberate. I think
yeah,
this was deliberate from
Avnish
Avnish.
has done this.
no,
Yeah,
it
just to throw me
wasn't.
under the bus. 100%.
I
Not
wouldn't
beyond
fudge
Avnish
about. I wouldn't
whatsoever.
fudge about with the graphics. First of all, I wouldn't fudge about with the graphics. I know India, of course, and the fans take their cricket very seriously. But for you to leave out Kuldeep, that's pretty shocking.
भाई
Anyway,
अरे क्या
Okay,
WhatsApp
so
स्क्रीनशॉट लगा के इसको
on
भी
the
प्राइम
11 bit,
टाइम न्यूज़ चैनल बना दे.
on the 11 bit, I just feel that, given that there's only one spot which is open for rotation, which is the number 8 spot.
Exactly.
I think that, on certain venues like Chennai, Delhi, maybe Lucknow, given how the pitch is, we can't be so sure that if it would really be a turner or a slow one. This is where Ashwin could come in. Another change that I would make is that if India, like when India play Pakistan in Ahmedabad, I'd like Shami in the 11, purely because of how well he's bowled at that venue. He really knows how to bowl at that venue. Took a lot of wickets in the IPL in the power play with, at that venue. So that is, and it's a flat pitch. So you could really ask your top 7 to do the job and not really rely on that number 8 batter in those conditions. The another venue where I think India could look at playing Mohammad Shami is Dharamshala. All other venues, these are 5 games. The remaining 4 games, you know, Shardul Thakur, I feel is a better pick for that number 8 spot. But even that number 8 for Mohammad Shami bit is also debatable because India do have Hardik Pandya who can also bowl with the new ball. So you really wouldn't need 4 bowling options who can bowl with the new ball in the power play. But I'm just saying that this is how the number 8 rotation could work.
Yeah,
Okay, let's
between
see.
Ashwin and
Go on.
Shardul, I do agree. Just one thing though, contrary to what people feel, I do think that the batting differential between Shardul and Shami is greater than the bowling differential between Shami and Shardul. Like I feel he offers enough value with the bat to just keep Shami out of the 11, irrespective of the conditions. Like Gurkirat mentioned, Hardik can also double up with the new ball if needed under
I
favorable
agree. But the
conditions.
question is now if Hardik just completes his quota of 10 overs, and I think the Hoggers, bloggers have brought this point up as well. Will India ever be tempted to throw in another batter at 7, Nikhil? Or is it a staunch no?
No, I don't think Sky plays any game unless two people are injured. Because one
Agreed.
person is injured, Kishan comes in. Second person gets injured, then only Sky comes in. To the point about Akshay rightly pointed about the batting differential, and again, it may not look convincing on the outside, but you will have to trust that again. Now, this is something that could have been done a while back. That you sit down with Kuldeep and Shami, and you talk to them that okay, where is your boundary option, or where is the ball that you're going to hit to rotate the strike? If that two were being talked and this was done, then you wouldn't have to get to the place about getting Shardul. And the difference with Shardul is all and playing Shami is the middle overs then become very very crucial for you because we had a graphic in our private chat at for once about India's record against left-handers. There is a lot of pressure on Kuldeep alone to strike against lefties. Now Shardul doesn't have great numbers, but the thing with Shardul is very often he's able to create chances. Now if you don't take them, you'll always obviously rue that. But if you are able to use Shami in that role or use Hardik in that role, if you're playing Shami in the power play, you'll have to really nail that middle order bowlers usage very, very well. So I do agree with Akshay and Paji both in the sense that you'll probably play Ash in Chennai, Lucknow, and Delhi. The two venues where you would want to play Shami could possibly be Ahmedabad and Dharamshala, but you will have to really nail that bowling unit. That if you're bowling first in Dharamshala and you're playing Shami, my simple logic eventually for this number 8 is if you're playing a bowling heavy side, keep them to a subpar score. There is no excuse for you to give away par score also with the best bowling unit on paper. If you feel Shami is the better bowler, अगर 250 par है, keep them to 220. So that you don't need that extra batting depth that you want from Shardul or a number 8. So if you do that, everything is hunky dory.
In all fairness, even then, I wouldn't bring in Shami instead of Shardul because we
No,
play
why?
New Zealand.
Because I understand, but horses causes, right? Akshay, you look at even India's fixtures, they have to chop and change because games come thick and fast. You have 15 guys you can use. So I agree with Gurkirat. You look at certain games and you'll be like, Shami does fit in the scheme of plans here. But I understand your point as well. But can you elaborate for the other viewers? What are you trying to
I'll
say?
just I'll just take Abhas's comment here to sort of elaborate my point. Having that batting cushion will also help batters pace their innings better, knowing that they have that additional batting cushion, however little it might be. Now imagine Shami at number 8. That means you have number 6 Pandya, then number 7 and out to form Jadeja, and then absolutely no batting. You would imagine Kohli and all of them would be a lot more cautious, a lot more aware, a lot more sort of conservative in terms of their run scoring and
But
in
then
terms
who
of how
bowls?
they go
Who
about.
makes up? Because then it leaves a loose end in terms of the bowling, right?
With the new ball, bhai, Hardik Pandya has done decently well with the new ball,
I
and
know, but
Shardul
will
has
he
taken
finish his
wickets in the
10?
middle overs.
Will he
He
finish
doesn't
his
need
No,
to
10?
no,
finish his
no.
10 now.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay, fair.
See, the point here is the best way to have fit in Shami in is had you had Hardik and Jadeja scoring truckload of runs.
Exactly.
If that was the case, that was the only scenario for you to say that okay, we may not need to go to that number 8 for batting, which was the case some years back, where in 2016-18 you had the top three only batting 30-35 overs. So you were not using that batting depth in any which ways, but that is not the case. So because you have it out of form number 7, it really puts a lot of onus on your combination to have some hope of getting that 15-20 runs extra, which Aksar showed us in that Sri Lanka game in Asia Cup. That why there is often an argument कि 7 जन नहीं किया तो 8वां क्या करेगा? अरे but उसके होने से those 7 can also bat better, and if
Yeah.
they don't and you still mess up the batting promotion that you should have done for Aksar, you could still get those 12-25 runs extra.
Exactly.
This
And
is true.
just one more point. Even if Jadeja and Pandya, both of them were in excellent form, I would think twice because we're playing New Zealand in Dharamshala, we're playing Pakistan in Ahmedabad. They have a very good bowling attack. ऐसा भी नहीं कि the opposition's bowling is, sort of not good enough. They can easily on their day dismantle our top order. Given that, I would really want to ensure थोड़ा तो batting हो भाई. वो Shardul might
But
get out of luck.
but Shardul hasn't done anything of late, saying Satvik here. So what confidence do you have in him, or you just kind of taking confidence from what he brings and the Lord aspect and all of that?
To which my point is, barring the Pfeiffer, it's not like Shami has also been, sort of lighting up the ODI format in the last few years.
He
अरे
got his
अभी
best ODI figures.
वही तो बोला भाई,
That's what
barring
he's
the
just saying.
Pfeiffer.
Apart from that as well, you think he's not an ICC player. He is, but I still pick Bumrah and Siraj.
No, but
So
see,
Shami's not
Exactly.
in it.
on what Satvik's saying, then uh, even Jadeja's not had a great time in ODIs, but you won't really think of dropping him. Even Hardik's not been as consistent as you'd like him to be, but you won't drop him. So there are players who, even if they've not had a great time, you will not drop them. You could say something similar about. I know they're not players of the same stature, but you know it's not. And I'm just saying this once again. If India had a better number eight than Shardul Thakur, they would have replaced him by now. They've not been able to find a better number eight. Deepak Chahar is the only other option, but Deepak Chahar doesn't stay fit enough for India to
There's a
even
number
beat him.
8 which just walked into the Indian squad right now, right?
No, but then Deepak Char also doesn't bowl in the middle overs. That has
Yeah,
been his problem
yeah.
in like, of course, he hasn't played a lot of one days firstly, but you want a guy who's able to create chances. And my bottom line with Shardul is he's able to create. He will give you two fours, but on the fifth ball of the over, you suddenly feel a chance coming your way, and that is what you have to take, and that is what it has been. You can call it lucky, you can call it Jai Mata Di, you can call it Lux Cozy, whatever you want to. It has worked for him so far, so he
Yeah.
deserves that for spot. Deserves the spot.
On that Sky bit, I feel for Sky to come in the 11, India would probably have to lose two of their first three games or two of their first four games with Jadeja not doing anything at all. Up and see the other
No, but
aspect.
even if
The
that's the case, Sky doesn't
okay,
walk in.
I'm
Yeah.
let me complete. The other aspect of why dropping Jadeja becomes difficult is because then it puts pressure on Hardik to bowl all
Hardik,
10.
exactly, exactly.
So there are a lot of factors due to which Jadeja, regardless of how he does with the bat, becomes sort of indispensable to the 11.
Undroppable.
So
At best, they could probably even look at Ashwin coming in at number 7, but Skyto would make little to no sense because they would need some more bowling from their number 7.
see,
At best, I still think Ashwin would be over Sky even in that pecking order for the number
yeah,
7 slot.
I'm not sure of that, but why I said Sky is because India has struggled to chase totals in recent
Yeah,
times. So
Fair,
if
fair, yeah.
if it comes,
yeah,
especially if India lose games chasing,
yeah.
then the pressure to bring in Sky or at least try out that option, even if it happens, even if it happens for a game or two, I don't think it's a sustainable 11. It's not sustainable. The sustainable 11 is one where India have Hardik at 6 and Jadeja at 7.
Yeah.
I'm saying it will have to, like, India would have to lose games for India to consider that thing, because when you are winning games you can carry a player or two. You can always carry a player of two when you are winning
And
games. It's only when you are
oh,
losing the pressure becomes to bring in changes.
yeah, just you can get the Satvik comment here. I think that is the perfect way to sum up that Shami and Shardul are not competing for the same spot.
Yeah,
It
true.
is Shardul and Ashwin, and I will not be surprised if Ashwin plays more games if he's able to contribute with the bat and take wickets. Because if he's taking wickets in the middle overs, the thing that I feel with Ashwin is you can use him up as well. What Rajasthan have done in the past, that again, it is going to be very,
But
very.
aren't
It is
India
not
too
going to happen in
rigid?
most.
India are too
No,
rigid
they are
that they
not.
won't use him like that.
See,
That's
they
the
are
point.
not. But again, you'll hope that on that very given day, versus a particular team, you will be able to use those resources better. I think even if you look at India's fixtures, you're almost playing every team at a venue where it could suit India more than the opponent. Now you switch the Sri Lanka and the England game. You're playing England in Lucknow and Sri Lanka in Wankhede. You switch that, you suddenly fear that, oh भाई, England को अगर वानखेड़े में खेल रहे हो तो it could really be trouble, and Sri Lanka को लखनऊ में खेल रहे हो, तो it could really be trouble, because then it suits them more than it suits you. So I think in terms of venues as well, India has probably helped in that aspect. But one thing that I'm very keen to see is if Ashwin starts, which I think he should in the Chennai game ahead of Shardul, if and he should play the Delhi game as well, because you expect the ball to turn there and help spinners. If Ashwin is continuing to take wickets, I'm very keen to see when do they resist the price about let's get back to Ashwin and not use Shardul. If Shardul goes expensive, again, it's just a random thought. It just came to me now. इसके पहले मैंने इसके बारे में नहीं सोचा था एक भी बार.
Oh my word! Some comments are coming through. Should India buy Bangladesh and play Sharky with 8? Ridiculous.
अरे यार.
Shipping calls going on to say should Dhoni unretire
No.
bat and 8? It's
No, we
quite
are not
ridiculous.
England. We don't
All
need
you-
entire players to come back.
All you guys are literally having your say, and we'll move on to that segment where we talk about the MVP and where India will finish in this year's World Cup. MVP, lots of random shouts. Abbas saying Hardik, Cricket Darshan saying Bumrah and Siraj, and I think there was a shout from Santosh Udupa saying top 3 MVP KL, and he also went on to say in that very same particular place this, Akshay. I mean, how could they say things of this, man? Ridiculous. Absolutely.
अलग level
ridiculous.
की thinking है भाई सच्ची में.
Seriously. So let's start with you then, Akshay, because you've done the SWOT. So where are you going to, of course, put India in terms of finishing in this year's World Cup? Are you sure of your order? Can you name me the top 10, and then we can, of course,
I can-
hold the hostage?
I mean, for what it's worth, I can name all my top 10 teams in order,
Okay.
in the order that I've said, and you can confirm.
Go on.
So my
Tell me
top
India
4.
first.
Yeah, India finishes in the top 4 along with England,
Where?
Australia, and Pakistan.
Where do they finish in the top?
How does it matter? Top 4 is top 4. Unlike IPL, this is not playoffs. This is just
Champions,
knockout.
finals, what?
I'm not talking about champions. Top 4
I'm
finish uske
asking
baad.
you. I'm asking you where you finish.
I would want to. I'd love to see India win, but pata nahi yaar, it's hard.
Love
On
to
the day,
see,
anyone can
want
win.
to see where, like you have
If
to
India
be kind
plays
of
England
firm.
if India plays England in Mumbai on the 14th of November, it won't be easy. I'll just put it that way. Simple. ठीक है? Khatam. So top 4 India, Pakistan, England, and Australia. 5th South Africa, 6th New Zealand, 7th Sri Lanka, 8th Bangladesh, 9th Afghanistan, 10th Netherlands. You can go and check. You can go back and check. सारा order ठीक है भाई.
Okay,
थोड़ा
fine.
सोचने दोगे तो
Fair
करेंगे
enough,
भाई.
fair enough. All right. MVP Kuldeep, almost nobody's taking more wickets in the middle overs than India. All credit to Kuldeep. And Sanjay saying, for me, Rohit Gill pairs the MVP considering all the starts they've had. Babar Rav also echoing the same source. So Rohit's 500 runs. So the strike rate of 130. Woo! That's an average of 50, I'm guessing. 10 games. I mean, but if India win the World Cup,
Yeah,
then they'll
it's
do
been
well.
some time. Rohit at 500 runs with 130 strike rate in IPL.
Seriously.
2020 probably. Yeah.
So Paji, where are you going with India then? Where do you have them penned down? Lots of people watching, so be careful.
Semis for sure, but beyond that, it's anybody's game.
Right.
Semi-
ऐसे मत बताओ.
And Abhi, if you say कि India will definitely win, then there will be idiots who will come and say कि you jinxed it. Even though I don't believe in anything like that. So, but yeah, the nature of knockouts is such that you can't predict, and the venues also. You know, when those knockouts are going to happen, it's going to be sort of winters in India. So the dew factor becomes a thing. So you don't know, and both the venues, you know, Wankhede, Kolkata, are like where you're not sure what score. If you're batting first, you're not sure what score is safe. You know,
India plays
at
in
both-
Mumbai. वो तो decided है.
But if Pakistan reach, then India play
Oh.
Pakistan in Kolkata. So there's that. So though a lot of factors that come into play, and you'd hope there are no injuries, but it's a long tournament, so you don't know what happens when. So semis, they should really make it to the semis, चाहे बुरी सी बुरी हालत में. But beyond that, you'd hope that India have some luck which they've not had in recent times. To be very honest, you'll need that more than anything else once you've reached the top 4. So there's that. And MVP bit is very difficult to call actually, because there are definitely a lot of contenders. KL's one, Kuldeep's one for obvious reasons. There's Bumrah, but I'll be slightly biased and I go for Shubman Gill. I want him to shed that tag of Ahmedabad bully for once and for all. Hoping he scores a lot of runs, and yeah, if while he does that and take India to glory, maybe break those records which are doing the rounds, hopefully. So yeah,
Okay, I thought he wasn't a namist, but he is because he's going for a fellow Gill
there is
to
no
light up
such
the World
team
Cup.
also like namist.
I know, I just made
I
it
I
up,
know
boy.
your MVP anyway. I know
My
your
M-
MVP.
my MVP is not Virat, unfortunately. It is,
Uh,
of course, wait for it. Honestly, KL Rahul, because I told you guys even before, I genuinely feel that man could light it up and shut a lot of people down. By the way, so Nikhil, let's end with you. I know that you've gone for an India South Africa final. We knew that on Friday. You hinted it to us, and India to win the goddamn thing and be the third time ODI World Cup champions, right?
Yeah, so I'm hoping they play the finals. KL Rahul plays a good knock and shuts up everybody once and for all for ages, for decades, so that nobody's questioning intent and skill and not mixing formats. My MVP will be him and Shreyas. A lot has been talked about number four, number five, and I think India will complete a circle with Yuvraj and MS going out and Shreyas and KL being the ones who are talked about in the future. So hopefully they do their basics well. No on the day Jai Mata Dis. Just read the conditions well. Play the best possible 11. There is enough. There are enough skilled people there. Let's just do our best. We keep trying.
Absolutely. Akshay, you want to say
Just
something?
हाँ मैंने अपना MVP तो बोला ही नहीं. Like I was so busy
Yeah,
trying to.
because given the fact that you didn't have Kuldeep in your 11, we didn't take you seriously anymore.
खुद तो अरे भाई शर्म कर ले, थोड़ा तो शर्म कर ले. Anyways,
Bolo
my
bolo.
MVP was my MVP was going to be Shreyas Iyer. Really,
Yeah.
really looking forward to seeing him do well this tournament. A lot of people, for some reason, thought he shouldn't be a part of the 11 for whatever reason, but really happy to see him there, being in form. He's practically our only proper spin player in the
Yes.
middle
Now.
order, and that's going to be very crucial. Crucial. So for India's sake, he has to have a good tournament, which is why I want him to be India's MVP. And yeah,
Okay, fair. Sagar also saying, हमको भी मौका दीजिए आपके साथ बातचीत करने का
एक मिनट
गुजरात.
ये
अरे
देखो
भाई
भाई.
लोग आप आपके को बोलनी नहीं थे. अंकल
Thanks,
मत
Ankur.
डिफेंड किया करो, ये इंसान नहीं है, शैतान है ये, शैतान.
Is that the longest sentence Avnish has managed to pull off in Hindi?
Yeah, exactly. Well done. Well done.
शाबाश
Well
यार.
done.
Shout out
No,
to
no,
all
World
the
no.
class आ रहा है
Hindi,
और भाई साहब हिंदी सीख रहे हैं.
shout
सही
out
है
to all the
भाई.
Hindi
on
tuition teachers.
on this
I'm
show,
brushing it up. I'm brushing it
on
up for the World
on
Cup.
live on cricket.com live shows, yes, but off camera and off the record, he's spoken some Punjabi as well, but
अरे
he
Multilingual
needs.
is honestly a good thing to have. Meanwhile, Chetan Chaudhary, I don't know if you've seen us before, but if you are new, please subscribe and please like this video. And so do all of you guys, because I think there's about 60 odd you guys watching and not even 50 likes, 48 likes. So please like right now, and it'll
please
be
do,
absolutely
please do.
brilliant. Any update on the third phase of tickets saying Ankar Bishwas? Not yet. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Whoever wins the World Cup will be called as ODI champions for eternity,
No,
because
no,
this could be
no,
the last
hopefully.
50 over World Cup. I hope not,
Fingers
because it's
crossed.
something.
Right.
I
Something.
hope.
Yeah, seriously. What a build-up India has had leading up to this tournament. At least 13 out of 15 look in hot form. Best chance if they have to play
Yes.
fearlessly.
Last leg.
Look, if you've
Last leg.
just joined, watch the SWOT analysis of India. Watch the SWOT analysis of all our teams, because we've had some absolute fun and banter, and of course, back and forth in bringing down and breaking to you this 10 mega preview event, which is of course World Cup 2023. We've finished with part 3, and of course, if you guys haven't checked out the first 2 parts, it's available right now on the YouTube network. Guys, thanks so much for